Have you ever felt a hunger that no feast could satisfy? A thirst that no ocean could quench? Picture yourself running toward a horizon that recedes with every step, chasing a prize that glitters but never grows closer. Arthur Schopenhauer, the philosopher who saw through the veil of human illusion, warned us. The pursuit of more wealth, more pleasure, more power, is a chain you forge with every restless desire. Why do you keep running even when your soul aches for rest? What is this shadow that drives you, whispering that the next achievement, the next possession, will finally bring peace? This is no mere question. It's a mirror held to your deepest self, daring you to look. The world screams that happiness lies in accumulation, that to stop is to fail, that to want is to live. But Schopenhauer saw the lie beneath this glittering surface. The will, that blind, insatiable force within you, is a tyrant disguised as a savior. Every trophy you grasp turns to dust. Every victory hollows into a new craving. Have you noticed how the moment of triumph fades, leaving only a void that begs for more? The new car, the bigger house, the fleeting applause, they're mirages in a desert of your own making. Schopenhauer's truth stings. You're not chasing dreams, you're fleeing from yourself. But what if the escape is the trap? This isn't about money or status. It's about the quiet war inside you, the one you fight when the noise of the world fades and you're left with the echo of your own thoughts. Schopenhauer called it the will to live, a restless force that binds you to an endless cycle of wanting, striving, suffering. Why does peace slip through your fingers like sand? Why does every gain feel like a loss in disguise? These aren't accidents. They're the architecture of a mind addicted to more. The philosopher's warning is a blade. To chase is to suffer. To want is to wander in darkness. Yet what if the light you seek is already within you, buried beneath the noise? You've been told to keep moving, to hustle, to never settle. But what if stopping is the rebellion no one dares to name? Schopenhauer's vision pierces the heart of our frenzy. The addiction to more is a leash and you're pulling it tighter with every step. Imagine standing still just for a moment and asking, what am I truly seeking? Not the answer the world sells you, but the one that hums in the silence of your soul. This video isn't a lecture. It's a confrontation with the truth you've always known but feared to face. Schopenhauer warned you, peace isn't found in the next thing but in the courage to let go. Stay with me, because every word from here is a step toward unraveling this paradox. What did Schopenhauer see that we've forgotten? How can you break free from the wheel of desire that keeps you bound? The answers lie ahead, not in promises of more, but in the quiet power of enough. If you turn away now, you'll carry the weight of that unanswered question. What if peace was never out there but here waiting for you to stop? Watch on, because Schopenhauer's warning is a map to a truth you can't afford to ignore. Picture a wheel that never stops turning, grinding your desires into dust, yet you keep pushing it forward. Schopenhauer saw this wheel, the will, he called it, a force that binds you to an endless chase for more. Have you ever stopped to wonder why the things you crave leave you hollow? The new phone, the raise, the fleeting thrill of victory, they promise peace, but deliver only hunger. This isn't a coincidence. It's the design of a mind caught in its own trap. What is this restlessness that gnaws at you in the quiet hours? You tell yourself it's ambition, progress, life itself. But Schopenhauer's gaze cuts deeper. It's suffering dressed as desire. The world celebrates the chase, draping it in gold. But every step you take toward more pulls you further from yourself. Why does the heart race when you stand still? The answer lies not in what you seek, but in what you're running from. You've felt it, haven't you? That moment when the shine of a new possession fades and the void creeps in. Schopenhauer warned that the will is a liar, promising salvation in the next thing, the next goal. But each time you grasp it, the promise dissolves, leaving you to chase again. It's not the object you want, it's the feeling you think it brings. But what if that feeling is a ghost haunting you with its absence? Imagine a man who spent his life climbing a mountain, only to find the peak empty. Schopenhauer's truth is brutal. The mountain is your own creation, built from desires you never questioned. You climb because you believe you must, because the world tells you to want more, to be more. But what if the summit is a lie? What if the only truth lies in the stillness you've been taught to fear? This journey isn't about answers, it's about the questions you've buried. Schopenhauer's voice echoes through time, asking, why do you chain yourself to a wheel that never stops? Why do you call this suffering freedom? The path ahead is not a map to peace, but a mirror to your soul. Keep watching, because the truth you avoid is the one you need most. The wheel turns because you let it, because you've been taught that stillness is death. Schopenhauer saw through this illusion. To live is to want, and to want is to suffer. Every advertisement, every applause, every fleeting thrill, they're fuel for a fire that burns you from within. Have you ever asked what you'd find if you stopped feeding it? What lies beneath the noise of your desires? You tell yourself you're in control, that each choice brings you closer to peace. But Schopenhauer's warning is a blade. Control is the illusion that keeps you bound. The more you chase, the tighter the chains grow, forged from your own longing. Why does freedom feel like a cage? Why does every step forward feel like a fall? The philosopher's voice whispers, because you're chasing shadows, not light. Think of a time you got what you wanted, a job, a lover, a dream fulfilled. Where is that joy now? Schopenhauer knew that joy is a fleeting guest, but suffering is a constant companion. The will doesn't rest, it hungers. It promises that the next prize will be different, but it lies. What if the lie isn't in the world, but in the story you tell yourself? You're not alone in this. The world is a chorus of voices urging you to run faster, to want more, to never pause. But Schopenhauer's insight is a rebellion. To pause is to see. To stop is to question the wheel itself. What would happen if you refused to turn it? What would you find in the silence you've spent your life avoiding? The answers are closer than you think, but they demand courage. This is no ordinary path. Schopenhauer's philosophy isn't a comfort, it's a confrontation. It asks you to face the part of you that runs, that craves, that fears the quiet. Every moment you spend chasing more is a moment stolen from the truth. Keep going, because the next step isn't about finding peace, it's about seeing what's been true all along. You've built your life on the promise of tomorrow. Tomorrow you'll be happy, tomorrow you'll be enough. Schopenhauer called this the cruelest deception, the will's endless deferral of peace. Why does tomorrow never arrive? Why does every achievement feel like a debt unpaid? The philosopher's answer is stark. Because the will feeds on lack, not fulfillment. Look around you. The world is a machine designed to keep you wanting. Billboards, notifications, the envy in a stranger's eyes, they all whisper that you're not enough. Schopenhauer saw this as the will's greatest trick. It makes you believe your worth lies in what you don't have. But what if enough was never out there? What if it's been within you, waiting for you to stop? You know this truth in your bones. You've felt it in the moments when the world grows quiet and the weight of your desires presses against your chest. Schopenhauer's wisdom is not a theory. It's a mirror reflecting your own struggle. Why do you keep running when the finish line moves with you? Why does the heart ache for what it already holds? The chase is a habit, a reflex, a story you've told yourself so long it feels like truth. But Schopenhauer's voice cuts through. The story is a prison. To want is to suffer. To seek is to lose. What would it mean to rewrite that story? To choose a different path, one that doesn't lead to more, but to you? The question isn't rhetorical. It's a challenge. Every step of this journey is a chance to see what Schopenhauer saw, that the wheel is yours to stop. The world will scream for you to keep going, to keep wanting, to keep suffering. But what if you refused? What if you chose to stand still, to look within? The truth is waiting, but it's not gentle. Stay with me, because the revelation is closer than you fear. You've chased more for so long it feels like breathing. Schopenhauer warned that this is no life, it's a sentence. The will, that blind force within you, doesn't care for your happiness. It cares only for its own survival. Why does every gain feel like a loss? Why does every joy carry the seed of new longing? Because the will is a fire that consumes everything, even you. You've seen it in others, the friend who got the promotion but lost their spark, the lover who won it all but still feels empty. Schopenhauer's gaze is merciless. This is not their failure, but the human condition. The addiction to more is not a choice, it's a trap woven into your being. But what if you could see the trap? What if seeing it was the first step to freedom? The world tells you that to want is to be alive, that to strive is to be human. Schopenhauer calls this a lie, a myth that keeps the wheel turning. Every desire you chase is a thread in a web you can't escape. Have you ever wondered what lies beyond that web? What would you find if you stopped weaving it? You're not weak for wanting, you're human. But Schopenhauer's truth is a wake-up call. Humanity is not enough. To live is to suffer, unless you choose to see. To see is to question, to pause, to dare to be still. What would it feel like to let go of the next thing, to choose the present over the promise of more? The answer is not a gift, it's a fight. This journey is your mirror, your challenge, your chance to break free. Schopenhauer's warning is not a philosophy. It's a call to arms against the will that binds you. Every moment you stay, every word you hear, is a step toward clarity. Don't turn away, because the truth you're chasing is the one you're already carrying. The wheel doesn't stop because you wish it to. It stops when you refuse to push. Schopenhauer's vision is a paradox. Peace is not found in getting, but in releasing. Have you ever felt the weight of your own desires heavy as chains? Have you ever wondered why they never lighten, no matter how much you gain? The philosopher's answer is a whisper that roars, because you were never meant to carry them. You've been taught that to stop is to fail, that to rest is to lose. But Schopenhauer saw the lie. The failure is in the chase itself. Every step you take toward more is a step away from you. What would happen if you turned back? What would you see if you faced the part of you that's been running all this time? The truth is not kind, but it's real. You know this in the quiet moments when the world's promises fade and you're left with yourself. Schopenhauer's philosophy is not a distant idea. It's the ache in your chest, the question you've buried under noise. Why does peace feel like a stranger? Why does every victory taste like defeat? Because the will is a thief stealing your present for a future that never comes. To stop is not to give up, it's to rebel. Schopenhauer's challenge is a fire. Burn the illusions that keep you bound. What would it mean to live for now, not for more? To choose the moment over the mirage? The world will tell you it's impossible, but the philosopher's voice is louder. It's the only way to be free. This is your invitation to see what Schopenhauer saw, to feel what you've always known. The wheel is turning, but you don't have to push it. Every second you stay here is a step toward breaking free. Don't look away, because the truth is not out there. It's in you, waiting for you to stop. You've spent your life believing that more is the answer, that the next thing will finally make you whole. Schopenhauer's warning is a thunderclap. More is the question, not the answer. Why does every achievement feel like a debt? Why does every desire lead to another? Because the will is a labyrinth, and you're lost in its twists. The world is a stage, and you're playing a part you didn't choose. Schopenhauer saw the script. Want, strive, suffer, repeat. You felt it, the exhaustion of running a race with no finish line. But what if the race is a lie? What if the only way to win is to step off the track? The philosopher's truth is a mirror, reflecting the chains you've called freedom. You're not alone in this labyrinth. Every soul you know is running, chasing, suffering. Schopenhauer's insight is universal. The will binds us all. But it's also personal. Only you can choose to see it. Have you ever paused long enough to hear your own heart? Have you ever asked what it's trying to tell you? The answer is not a prize, it's a reckoning. To stop chasing is to face yourself raw and unfiltered. Schopenhauer's philosophy is not a comfort. It's a blade cutting through the illusions you've built. What would it feel like to let go of more? To choose the you that exists right now, not the you that might be. The world will scream that you're wrong, but the philosopher's voice is clearer. You're enough. This journey is your chance to rewrite the script, to break the wheel, to see the truth Schopenhauer saw. Every word you hear is a step toward clarity. Every moment, a chance to be free. Don't turn back, because the labyrinth is not your home, it's your prison, and the key is in your hands. You've been running so long, you've forgotten what it's like to stand still. Schopenhauer's warning is a call to remember. Peace is not a destination. It's a refusal. Refusal to chase, to want, to suffer for a future that never arrives. Why does the heart ache for what it can't hold? Why does every gain slip through your fingers? Because the will is a river, and you're drowning in its current. The world tells you to swim faster, to fight the tide, to reach the shore of more. But Schopenhauer saw the truth. The shore doesn't exist. The river is the lie you've been told to believe. What would happen if you stopped swimming? What would you find if you let the current pass you by? The philosopher's answer is a whisper. Yourself. You've felt it, haven't you? The moment, when the world's noise fades and you're left with a truth you can't name. Schopenhauer's philosophy is that truth given form. It's the ache of knowing you're more than your desires, more than your suffering. Why do you keep running from it? Why do you fear the stillness that could set you free? To stop is to defy everything you've been taught. Schopenhauer's rebellion is not loud. It's quiet, deliberate, profound. It's the choice to be here. Now whole. What would it mean to live without the weight of more? To choose the present over the promise. The philosopher's voice is a beacon. The only peace is the one you claim. This is your moment, your mirror, your truth. Schopenhauer's warning is not a lesson, it's a lifeline. Every second you stay is a step toward freedom, every word a chance to see. Don't walk away because the river is not your fate, it's your choice. And the power to stop is yours. The wheel still turns, but now you see it. Its relentless spin, its promise of more, its chains forged from your own longing. Schopenhauer's truth is a quiet thunder. Peace is not a prize to be won, but a choice to be made. You've felt the weight of the river, the pull of desires that promise everything and deliver nothing. What if you stepped out of the current, just for a moment, and let the world's noise fade? In that stillness you might hear a voice, not the will's but your own, whispering what you've always known but feared to name. You've been running, chasing shadows cast by a light you already carry. Schopenhauer's warning is a mirror, reflecting not your failures, but your power. The labyrinth of more is not your home, it's a story you can rewrite. Have you ever stood still long enough to feel the truth beneath your restlessness? It's not out there, in the next thing, the next dream. It's here, in the heart you've been too afraid to face. The philosopher's voice lingers, a beacon in the fog of want. To stop is not to surrender, it's to claim yourself. Every desire you've chased, every ache you've buried has led you to this moment. A moment where you can choose to be enough. What would it mean to live not for tomorrow's promise, but for today's truth? Schopenhauer's wisdom is a wound and a salve. It hurts to see, but it heals to know. There's a spark within you now, a flicker of clarity that wasn't there before. Schopenhauer warned you, the addiction to more is a thief, stealing the present for a future that never comes. But here, now, you hold the key, not to more, but to enough. Let this truth be your anchor. You are not the wheel, not the river, not the chase. You are the stillness that waits, the light that endures, the soul that is whole. This journey doesn't end here, it begins. If Schopenhauer's truth has stirred something in you, let it live. Share this spark with someone still running, still chasing, still bound. Leave a comment with the question you can't unask, the truth you can't unsee. Like this video to mark your rebellion against the wheel. Subscribe, not just to a channel, but to a path of awakening. Because the truth you've felt today is not a destination. It's a fire and it's yours to carry.